Hey everyone, thanks for joining today's session on how to start your career path in Microsoft Azure. And today we have Hamid with us to be as a guest speaker, and he will be taking us to the topic. He is a Microsoft MVP and a Microsoft MCT as well, and he will be helping us to understand the career path in Microsoft Azure and how you can get started with it. So without any more delay, let's get into it. Hamid, over to you. Is the I
Yes,
think the presentation is not being shared anymore.
yeah, I'm looking for it. First, I will start with a small introduction, and here's my screen. I guess you'll be able to see it now.
Yes.
I'll make it the screen. Okay, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever world you are. It's really precious that you are here now, and you're taking a time in your weekend to being together to understand the ecosystem of Microsoft Azure and how you are going to plan your career and how you are going to plan your long-term, short-term learning plans because we believe that everything, even starting your career path with Microsoft Azure, starts with learning a good exact learning plan and how to set our mind and change our mind and having a grow mindset and a learner mindset. And I would like to say thanks to the host, and that's really a great opportunity to that we have the scene actually to share our thoughts on behalf of not just Microsoft MVP community and also sharing the experiences. And I'd be glad if I can add a small percentage of information in this session. So for today's agenda, we have some options. Actually, I was thinking, first of all, when I was preparing the presentation, and I was thinking, yeah, maybe the presentation file itself will help to having like some images and making it more valuable. But the thing is, talking to each other, and that's actually why at the end of the session and at the end of the presentation, and I would like to have more time together, like for the question and answering. But however, the agenda we've already prepared. Several months ago, together with the host and yeah, the items we have. So we will go through the items one by one and to discover today's session and the how to build our grow mindset and learner mindset in our and our career path actually. So we will start an introduction of me and also the session, and which I've already started a little bit of the introduction for the session. So next we will have our item for where we are standing now as an individual and how we think, what was our plans, and what we are going to do. The third option, I am architect. We will explore it a little bit more in detail. Maybe the name would be a little bit confusing, but yeah, we will see it in our presentation shortly. And yeah, as mentioned, we will have a page how we are going to plan in short term, long term, and how it's going to affect, for instance, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, and not just for learning plan and also for the career and how to being specific. Yeah, as mentioned at the first of the presentation, it all starts with an exact and good plan of learning, and this is how it's going to affect your career, affect your life, and affect everything you are going to be actually in your cloud journey. So yeah, this is our cloud journey. We are starting from here. As you might be familiar with the CI/CD pipelines, I was thinking, yeah, we can have also CL/CD pipelines. It's like continuous learning, continuous developing. So again, building a learner mindset. Again, this is where we start and how it starts actually. And I remember in the next topic where to start with Microsoft Azure. I'll edit the text that this is exactly my favorite topic, and which we will dive more in how we are going. So some of you might be familiar with Microsoft Azure technologies, or yeah, professionals or students. Either you want to start with Microsoft Azure, either you already started, you're a professional, experienced, and you're working as an expert, as an architect, and you want to switch your path, because yeah, we will explore shortly that because Microsoft Azure is a role-based, not just the certifications, also the technology, also the services. And the last point, it points to how it affects having a good network, building a good network, and being in a good network, and being in a network that affects your career, your daily activities, your learning plan, because it's really important. So, for instance, whenever you open one of your social medias, in this case, let's say LinkedIn, it's very important that how your feed looks like, because if you when you decide to start your cloud journey as a student, again as a professional expert, it's really important, yeah, to every day keep yourself up to date, not just over the websites and technology websites and the news, but also your news feed within the social medias. And again, as mentioned, we will have a little bit of time for question and answering. Anything just comes in your mind, just shoot it in the presentation. So a little bit of more detail about myself. So my name is Hamid, and I'm 31 years old. Currently, I'm living in the Netherlands, and so I'm working as a cloud architect and also trainer. Sometimes when there's time, I love to train special students and working with universities. And yeah, beside that, I'm most of the time also active with within the Microsoft MVP community. This is not again just writing articles or having sessions. It's again that I love to share. So that all starts from there. Recently, we had the chance to have our learning room within Microsoft Learn. So this is a new program that is initiated by the Microsoft Learn community. This is exactly how this session is also part of, as mentioned, this session is a part of also learning. So these all connects together, and at the top of it, again, the learn comes first actually. So within Microsoft Learn community, we have our own learning room. So within that learning room, there is a Microsoft Teams channel, actually a Teams team. That under that we have different kind of channels with talking about different kind of technologies and I mean Microsoft Azure services and different technologies on the subcategory of Microsoft Azure. So at the end of the session, I would like to share the link from Microsoft side. So you're just filling the form, and you would like to join to the Microsoft Learn room. And any questions, any learning material, anything like even have a channel for career path. So to discuss anything needed actually, from building resumes and CVs to social medias and building our learning plan and also the career path. And yeah, I was actually thinking I really don't like adding the certifications here, but yeah, this is exactly what I had to add to the introduction page. You can always connect with me on LinkedIn. You can follow me on Twitter and on website. So anytime you can reach out to me if you have any questions. So and that is totally fine. So with the first point, where am I now when we realize there is a platform called Microsoft Azure, and that is growing rapidly. And yeah, there is a high demand of using services, migrations happening, changes, automations, infrastructure as a code, security, governance, identity access management, and yeah, and since we all love technology, and this is the reason we are here now today in the weekend, and we would like to learn and develop and grow together. So what does it mean actually? So when we first think about it, let's start our journey firstly with Microsoft Azure, or we are in the middle of the path and we want to switch to a different role, or starting to learning something different within Microsoft Azure platform, and develop something new for ourselves. So yeah, because at the end it will have its effect. Nothing is affecting us. So when you start learning, when you start even thinking about it, so unconsciously you will develop something. You will start to learn. You will start to explore sites, getting some materials, and suddenly you will find actually yourself within your network, within this network. So you will see like you have thousands of network and all the materials you need during the years. So the first point, actually, it's like, yeah, we have decided to start this, but let's see, let's reevaluate and restructure that cloud journey. So we want to be a Microsoft Azure consultant. We want to be a Microsoft Azure architect, an engineer, a developer, or AI expert. So that is really important to let's push the brake here and write everything down in a notebook. I love writing down, so writing digitally, it seems like, yeah, it's not having its effect. So when you write, your brain loves it. So writing down and drawing lines and tables to see what I had in my mind in the past during the past years, and what I have in my mind now, and what I'm thinking about the future. And exactly the second point shows what we need to write down actually about it. So let's see what we've learned during the past years. So if I'm a student or a professional, or I was doing self-study about Microsoft Azure technologies, and not just Microsoft Azure technologies, also could be different vendors and different kind of technologies that it led you to be here to decide that I'm going to start my journey with Microsoft Azure. So it's really important to reevaluate and to see what you've learned until today. And then it is really important to be specific, to be specifically decide what we are going to learn in our learning path. Because as mentioned, Microsoft Azure is a role based. So you're either becoming an architect, an engineer, an AI expert, or a developer, a data expert, especially, which is one of the important paths right now. And because you think you put your path in here, and the subcategory of that, you need to build your learning plan. So it could be a little bit of confusing while starting. For instance, let's learn that. Let's learn a little bit of data. Let's learn a little bit of Azure Administrator. Let's start with that fundamentals, identity access management and governance. It will be a little bit confusing. I've experienced it. I saw people experience that. And then there is the feeling of a little bit of burnout. Oh, okay, let's take a step back and restructure again. So before experiencing that, so let's plan everything carefully. It's really important to be specific, and that defining the path will actually define how you are going to grow, not just again your learning path, again in your career path. Again, the last point, as mentioned, being specific is really important to see what you learned, what you are learning now, and what you want to become and what you want to learn. So that will define if you're going to be a developer, if you're going to be an architect or an engineer or a data expert. So don't mix everything together. So define your path on a notebook and get the materials. And yeah, we will see in the next slide actually. So I'm not, I don't want to like spend more time on the slide. So then we will have like time to talk to each other. Yeah, this is also one of the important topics because yeah, as I mentioned, I saw people in my network or students or even from the professionals um, feeling the burnout after some time. So, in order to prevent that and removing all the obstacles and every day increasing our enthusiasm and increasing our motivation and our energy to love what we are doing, it could be again anything, but to be specific in this case, it's Microsoft Azure and our career path and our learning plan here. So that's why in every session I'm having related to grow mindset, learning mindset, or defining our career paths. I always mention fundamentals are really important. Fundamentals are base of everything actually. So just for an example, in my case, for me, like maybe not every month, like every like quarterly or every 2 months, I would love to go through fundamentals again, like checking Microsoft Azure fundamentals, if there are any changes actually in the fundamentals, and by reviewing the fundamentals, it will bring something to your brain, and you will remember, yeah, for instance, there was a resource group that was the restructure, and yeah, learning how IP works, for instance, like the different kind of protocols. It could be networking, could be security, anything. That's why the fundamentals are really important. So keep the fundamentals, always refresh it, always keep it in the loop, because you are in a path that it grows every day, every second, every minute, and you need to keep yourself within the loop. So you need to always learn during the day, during the week. It could be a little bit like not sure, like not to saying time consuming, but we are all like since morning till evening, we are all working, we are all students, we are all dealing with life. But uh, we need to develop our unconscious to love it actually. So unconsciously, wherever you are, so you will have something in your phone, in your laptop. Just you just open and you start to read just for a minute or 2 minutes. Just a small update would be enough also during the day. So in a day you have a new update. So it's really important to keep up fundamentals and then schedule loop. So we all have a digital calendar. It could be Outlook, Gmail, or in your phone. So just add it in there. So just maybe 15 minutes or 10 minutes a month. Keep it in a schedule. So go through fundamentals. It could be anything in your path. So if you're an architect, if you're a data engineer, a data science, or a AI expert, keep it in the loop for the fundamentals. Just 10 minutes, 15 minutes, even. Yeah, it's not gonna take that much time actually. Just go through the updates, like or the book. Just yeah, go through the page or PDF, like digital books, and it will help you to refresh what you learned previously. And it's also really good to keep notes of them. So if you had like a notebook, you took notes when you were reviewing fundamentals, it's good to also review those notes and add new notes beside that in your scheduled loop, actually in your calendar. So that will help also to refresh your knowledge of fundamentals. Again, it doesn't matter if you're architect, if you're in PhD and anything. Again, fundamentals matters. Um, Ambitions are really good, so we always must be actually ambitious. So we need to think about what we are now. So that is the trigger actually. So when you're thinking about it, when you're dreaming it, that is the trigger. So it triggers you to go forward. It triggers you to go and explore, go and connect with people that you didn't know before actually. So go and find materials that you even didn't think about it, maybe in the past months or past years. So define always ambitions for the future, the things that you want to learn, the things that you want to become. But this is also important that you need to fill them. So it's like you put a big bucket in your desk, and you are thinking of filling it with something. It could be a bucket of fruit, a bucket of yeah, anything, a bucket of laptop, but you need to fill it. But there is also time, so we need to be calm in our path, especially when learning with the Microsoft Azure technologies and services. It will take a little bit of time, but the results would be actually lovely. So just fill it time to time. This is why scheduling fundamentals, scheduling learning, having a grow mindset, having a learner mindset will fill that bucket of ambitions. So that's important not to again get burned out, because when we have the bucket and we take that empty bucket with ourselves, uh, to our future plans, then that empty bucket will make us to feel yeah, burnout. So that's important, just to first have a filled bucket. Learn, skill up, and take certifications. In our plan for the path that we defined in the previous slide, which I've also mentioned, so having certifications, it's like it would feel like a reward actually. So you start a path again, engineer, architect, anything. And starting with fundamentals, which is again really important. So always start with fundamentals if you're even starting now. So it could be Azure Data Fundamentals, Azure Fundamentals itself, with different exam codes. So start with fundamentals, review multiple times, take certifications, and that will be your reward. And that will push you, that will trigger you for the next level. As much as you are having a list of checkbox, and during the day, during the week or month, once you are checking one by one and you're having certifications on your desk, so that's a good trigger, that's a reward. So then it will push you forward, and you will take certifications and go on. This is also one of the experiences that that I've put in the slide. So try to enjoy the exam and the process of learning, and not just focusing on passing it. Because focusing on passing it, it will be memorizing stuff, and then during the exam, you will just remember, yeah, that was the option, and you just pass. Then we will have that empty bucket from the ambitions. So that's why try to learn by heart, and while you're in an exam and you're seeing questions, then you will see that you already know it. And there is that's the point when our bucket is getting filled up by learning by heart and by understanding it, by comprehending it actually. Then our bucket will start to get to fill up, and by at the end of that bucket, that's again that's the level that you can start with another role, because you already finished the role within Microsoft Azure and within your career, and now, for instance, you want to become an AI expert. But and previously, for instance, maybe you were a data science, a data engineer, or an Azure architect, and you already have that knowledge, and easily you can switch that knowledge to another role, or to another path. Again, give it some time, and you'll catch it. You just need to stick to the plan, and plan short terms and long terms, and you'll be there. So we just need to have our calendar and checkbox and notebook. Again, and now we are in the slide for the short-term and long-term plans, because in the previous slide I was going to explain it, so I just remembered this is our next slide. So again, creating a learning plan is also one of the bold and important things in this between. Not to get confused, because there are hundreds of different learning different learning paths, sorry, and different kind of services and technologies. And in order to prevent getting confused, and in order to prevent getting burnout during our learning way, and being calm, and understanding that at the end of this path we will reward ourselves, and it will having a great effect in our career path, where I'm going to be. Again, remember that what are my ambitions, and how many buckets I have to fill. So that all starts with an exact and a good learning plan. And yeah, planning and imagination and imagining it will boost your motivation. So this is exactly when you think that you have your certificate on your hand, and you put it in your CV, and you apply, and you get a job, and that's the reward actually. So this is where you again boost yourself, you push yourself, and these are all the triggers. So we need to have more triggers actually. Like, as much as we build triggers to ourselves, and when we achieve it, that triggers us to go for the next level actually. Yeah, again, plan, learn it, get certified, and reward yourself. It could be the rewarding yourself. It could be even a small sweet. So yeah, that will feel good with small stuff, with small rewards. Again, this is even a good trigger for the next level. Um, the 2 points I've mentioned here, create a learner mindset and a grow mindset, is actually where I started the explanation of both since starting the presentation and the session. So this is actually our big bold points during this session. So we need to develop those habits and enjoying the learning and growing process instead of enjoying achieving our goals. So that's correct that goals are important, but if again, if you remember that if, for instance, the one of the goals are taking exam as a 305 and become an Azure architect, in order to become and get that certification, and for instance, most probably, yeah, we have different kind of materials, and we tend to most probably to memorize and just get that goal. And after we are getting that goal, and then yeah, that the goal is finished, so what to do next? But if we are learning by heart and understanding what's happening and enjoying the learning process, it will also trigger the grow mindset. For instance, you're learning by the time you're putting 3 months, 6 months of learning about Azure AZ 305. It is just for example. It could be any exam, 104. And by as much as you're learning and you're taking the exam, and even if you're passing or not passing the exam, that doesn't matter. So you will even feel good because it doesn't matter. You will fail and you will again put some time and you will pass it, and because you're just enjoying the learning process, not just achieving the goal itself. So by the time you will see that because you are loving the learning process, it will turn you into having a grow mindset. So you will want to learn more. You will learn to get more materials, just learning more and more. And this is where, and by having all these rich learning mindset and rich content, it will having a boost and a great effect in your career actually. And by saying that, having a learning mindset, it's really important also putting this in our plan even. So for instance, every day, every week, small portion of learning. So this is where filling our calendar or having to dos and executing them actually, this is really important. For instance, when the time becomes, just put it in the highest priority, that I must learn it on the time if it's in my calendar, if it's the next stuff. So put everything aside, just put 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. So this is just for example. For instance, if you have more time, that would be also even wonderful. So for instance, every day an hour, a 2 hour of learning, if you have time, that's perfect. You will achieve sooner than you expect actually. And by creating that mindsets and the habits, it all starts within during the process. So we are going to build our system and our process. That, for instance, this is just an example I've added here. Create small opportunities for learning. That could be setting every homepage that you are using in your devices to different technology vendors. For instance, setting one to Microsoft Learn and Microsoft Azure category within Microsoft Learn, and for instance checking Microsoft learning rooms, different kind of teams, and Microsoft tech community blogs, and who's blogging there and what kind of new services there are. And these small updates and small portion of stuff will boost you again. And using like applications like LinkedIn Learning and news feeds and technology, the tech companies and their bloggings. And there are also different kind of third-party websites and tech communities that they also share blogs, articles. So internet is full of opportunities and also content and material. So try to fill your environment with them. so during like in the next months, you will see already you fell within it, and you are loving to learn more and more. So these three options here, everyday learning every week, small portion of learning, and creating our habits. So that will help to building your learning system and enjoying it instead of focusing on the goal. So setting the long-term plans beside the system. This is where we have the system, and now this is time to have goals. And it's like that there is a line, and within the line you are putting some dots. So that doesn't matter how far those dots are away from each other. So this is just matter that you are within the system, and you just achieve a dot, and you just check it, and you go to next and you check it, because you love the system of learning and system of growing. And again, focusing on no rush. We will have time. We are on the path, and we are growing, so doesn't matter. We just need to put effort, and it will come. And beside the having a learner mindset and the grow mindset, so I was just, as mentioned in the first of the presentation, continuous learn, continuous develop. So have your life pipeline. So you might be familiar, yeah, with the CI/CD DevOps pipelines. So this is the digital version. So why not having it in real life actually? So while you are planning in your whiteboard or in your notebook or in your OneNote application, so build your own pipelines. So again, your brain will start to love the process of the pipelines that you created. And yeah, having a continuous learn in your that comes from having the checkbox and the list of the to-dos during the day, during the week, and during the months. And also learn also the process that you are going to execute for the future. And yeah, again, with those plans and the calendars and the continuous learnings, which mentioned, you will have the first pipeline of continuous learning. And again, the continuous developing, it comes from where you have goals actually. So with those goals, you will, within the continuous development, you will achieve your goals while your continuous learning is always happening. So it's not gonna stop. Continuous learn, and every week, every month, every year, you will have a continuous developing, learning, developing. So you need to keep them in a loop. So in order to have those loops, so you need to have to-dos, checklists, and putting in the calendar, and during the day, during the week, and the month, just execute them regularly on time. So this is really important. So as part of the grow and learner mindsets, again, it's if you go back here, and from that point, it'll start with turning every opportunity into learning. So that starts here, create small opportunities for learning. So this is just an example, but yeah, there are many that you can use, because our since the morning and the evening, the night and the week and the month, we have different plans, different lives, different dealing with different things, work, university, and yeah, a family. And yeah, this is where we need to develop and put and use those times and turn them into a learning opportunities. So instead of for instance, if you have a free time, and you free time of 2 hours, and you want to watch Netflix, so maybe it will be it will be having a good effect, like maybe using 15 minutes or 30 minutes of it for the as a learning opportunity, and it will develop by the time, and you will see that unconsciously you want to put all those 2 hours into learning instead of, yeah, um, doing something else. I always focus, and I always share that keep and stick to Microsoft Learn. Microsoft Learn is one of and really great and richest environment and full of content and up to date. So anything from Microsoft related to Microsoft Azure updates, contents, learning plans, learning materials, and whole experts and our learning rooms in there. So it would be maybe useful, yeah, use Microsoft Learn as your homepage also, or check it in a schedule base. So what's happening, any kind of new certifications, any new updates about new courses, a new learner, a new challenges. So yeah, follow challenges even in Microsoft Learn. So this is really important as part of your learner mindset and within your career path and within growing within this path in as your cloud journey actually. Again, here shifting back to follow path, finish the path and start the other. So this is again really important. So the reason why at every slide I'm pointing to that, it is because preventing getting confused and preventing getting burned out within the path. So we are talking about the path for the uh, for the long term actually. So this long term, we in this long term plan we need to be specific again. We are going to the previous slides. So start with fundamentals, starting your path. If you're an AI engineer, again, if you're data science, data engineer, if you're an architect, if you're an administrator, go that path, understand it totally, work in that path, gain experiences. That's not a problem if you just check updates from different paths. It's totally fine. But if you want to seriously start another path, and you are already within a learning path, so that could be a little bit of confusing. So start it, finish it, start the other, and you will feel really good. Again, pointing here, learn every day instead of every week. So um, here the reason from the last option here, like start your learning plan from now for the next 30 days, and you will realize how you become a learner mindset, and you will see the effect. Like preparing your to-do list, putting it in your calendar, being specific, choosing the path based on the previous courses you had, based on the previous career path you had, and the things that you are doing now. And for the next 30 days with all these plans, and you will already start feeling the differences. And now, yeah, my favorite topic. And where we are going to start with Microsoft Azure. And this is really, I could say, one of the most famous questions I've always faced. So, as mentioned, Microsoft Azure is role based. So, based on your experience, based on your educational story, or not just educational story, that maybe won't matter actually if you're starting with Microsoft technologies, in this case, Microsoft Azure technologies, but yeah, it could have an effect actually. But just put them aside and just see what you think you are not thinking what am I good at it, but what I love to do. So there are different paths. So you're thinking about AI within the market, data, designing, architecting, automation, and becoming an engineer in all those paths. So first of all, go through Microsoft Learn, check for the certification paths and for check for learning paths, and see what you really love to learn and what you really want to become. So that really matters. And this is where we know how to and where to start with Microsoft Azure. And just start it and just do it. And don't even think if it's the right path, or if it's gonna like having an effect in my career or not. Just do what you love to do or what you love to learn actually. Again, start with Azure fundamentals. For instance, just as a recommendation, so if you are going to start with Microsoft Azure, always start with AZ 900 with the fundamentals, and you will get to know whole infrastructural fundamentals of Microsoft Azure platform. So there is where you learn about the structure actually within Microsoft Azure. So you'll learn about subscriptions, management groups, and how it starts, how the category starts, how the subcategory starts, how what is security within Microsoft Azure, how resources are put in resource groups and how they are managed, and about different kind of access rights. And once you get familiar with it and you know what is the platform, how it works, and then you choose your path for the next level. It could be data, it could be Azure administrator, it could be security architect. But again, from fundamentals directly going to the learning architect, it could be also a little bit confusing. So that's why we need to be specific in our learning path. Again, you're going back to Microsoft Learn, you start your path in there. So you create your profile, and you'll find all the materials you need. Anything you face, you can reach out to me, and or yeah, within Microsoft Learn community, we are always there to help. Follow your current specialty to find your role in Azure. So for instance, if you are already familiar with Microsoft Azure technologies, you're an expert, you're a student, and you already know what's happening within the platform and what's the platform about and how public clouds and private clouds are and what are the differences. So you can also follow your current specialty instead of switching to another one. So that will also boost your loving the learning process actually. Again, here mix pointing out to then you can expect and mix it with the other roles. So starting a path, doing the path, and if you're going to the previous one, uh, can yeah, follow a path, finish a path, and start the other. Again, here it comes. You're starting a path and expanding, learning, becoming a specialist architect, and then you can start with another role within Microsoft Azure actually. So what I recommend during your learning process is just yeah, continuous learn, continuous develop, build your labs. So when you sign up to Microsoft Azure, you will get a free credit. Either you're a student or a professional, so you will having like opportunity to build your resources in there, build your labs. Touching the environment and keeping your hands dirty is really important. Just create resources and just yeah, delete the resources, just ruin the resource. That will give you experience, that will give you a good feeling because you're touching the service. And that's where it starts actually. That's where you feel like you want to do more and you want to learn more and you want to create more and you want to innovate, and that is where it starts actually. So building labs and touching the environment, it really matters. And test environments and experienced it, that's where it starts. And our last but not least and most important topic is getting into the right network and connecting with the right people. I mean, meaning of the right people, that doesn't matter like connecting with good people. That means connecting with right people within your network, connecting with, for instance, if you are within the IT industry, within cloud industry, and going specifically going within the Microsoft Azure, Microsoft industry and Microsoft Azure industry. Again, going specific, if you are like an automation engineer or a data expert, again, going within into that community and connecting with those people. For instance, if they are writing blogs, if they are sharing updates, if they are publishing articles, or they are having webinars, conferences from different communities. It could be MVB community, MCT community, Microsoft employees. Just connect with them, and it will keep you on the loop. It will keep you on the flow, on the path. So that's where the opportunities also come from. So you're connecting with people, you're writing a small message to them. Thanks for connecting. Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm learning this. I'm interested in that technology and that path. I'm growing, I'm learning. So that will also give a good feeling to the other side. So this is what we are all experiencing and during the day, and connecting with people and expanding our network as much as we can. There is no limit. Just expand your knowledge, expand your network, and you will see the results. again, connect with specifically within this industry. So connect with MVPs in your path that you are following and learning. Follow them, actually follow their feed, and follow MCTs, follow Microsoft Learn, the most important one. Connect with Microsoft employees from different the path that you are following, and from different paths, if you're interested, like to because they're also sharing a lot of updates, articles, blogs. They're active on different social medias, specifically on LinkedIn. This is really important that you keep a well prepared and a good summarized of your skills and abilities that you are doing and what you are learning, and a good view of your experience, your past, and the things that you're thinking you're going to do. So always be active on there on LinkedIn, and just for instance, if you haven't you got an achievement just 1 minute ago, the next thing you are doing is just update it on LinkedIn. So keep it up to date, just in a second, just in a minute, and just don't miss it. Don't forget to not to update in there. So yeah, because it's really important for your network. So you push something, you push with your in your feed, and all your network sees this is where the opportunities come from. So now this is where we are close, and we are in our path for building our career with Microsoft Azure. So you always need to be active, and so then your network, the people you get connected, we need to see. For instance, I'm your network, you are my network, we are all within the same network. We need to see what we are doing, not staying like silently, or sharing any updates. So once we are seeing each other updates and the things that we are learning, the things we are interested, anything, then opportunities then start to rise actually in there. Again, not just being specific in your learning path, also being specific in your career path, and what you are going to do, what you are going to become in your role. This is also one of the important things when you're starting building your profile in your imagination, in your brain, and your profile in the digital environment. So this is where it defines your path. So you have your framework, you build your framework and stick to that framework, and just go on, and don't even think about it. I thought I just got disconnected. Hope you're hearing me. Okay, and yeah, I wish you all good luck with the. I hope it was even a little bit helpful. So now we are in Q&A. So anything, any questions, I would love to answer actually.
Thank you, Hamid, for the explanations. I think let's give them 2 minutes to type up because there is no mic access for them. So they need to type up the question so that
Yeah, yeah, I'm
get
checking the
it.
messages actually in the chat. So if you see any questions also,
Mhm.
yeah, you can raise them so we can talk about it. So yeah, we still have time, so just shoot any questions you have.
There is a question at the end of the chat.
Mhm. There is a question that can we get a recording of this webinar? Surag, I guess this is something you can help.
Yes, the
Are
recording
they
is will
able
be
to
available.
get it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it will be available publicly to everyone. That's good. MD Fahim, what is the importance of certifications? Certifications is not a proof of the knowledge, but it is proof of that you are learning. So it will prove in your CV, in your profile, that you are a learner mindset. You learn, you gain certifications, and you keep learning and you renew them. So it is a proof of being a learner mindset. So that's the importance. Actually, we need to keep in the flow. Dante J.R. Rodriguez, how we get certification. And this is exactly what we explored within the during the presentation and during the session. So you start with your learning plan. You start with the things that you learned in the path, what you are doing now, and what you really love to do. So on the certifications, that's really important. So this is where um, if you focus on certifications, that means that you focus just on the goal and not on the process, on the learning and the system of the learning. So first build the system that you want to learn, and then you will get there. So you learn in your path, you will get the certification, and you will take the exams, and it will have a proof of the previous two questions that we had. It will have a proof that you are a learner mindset. Safir, is there an e-certificate? Yeah, all the certifications you are getting from Microsoft, these are all digital certificates, and you can download them as PDF. You can print them if you want to hang it on the wall as a memory. But yeah, the certificates are digital and e-certificates. Zawad Aziz, can AI be combined with HR? Yeah, AI can be combined with everything nowadays. So it's growing really rapidly, and it's really good to look at the updates actually and know how it works. Like explore ChatGPT, ask some weird questions, and you will love it. Precious Econom, can you talk a little bit about Azure Path to AI? The learning path to AI within Microsoft. So I will recommend go to Microsoft Learn and to the learning paths and to the different kind of certifications. But all starts again fundamentals. And now we are shifting back again to the presentation. You just start with Microsoft AZ 900 fundamentals. Learn how it works, the environment. It's really important how the resources are managed in there, and then start your AI path. So we have different kind of AI certifications, AI learning paths, which will help you to achieve if you're interested in AI path with Microsoft Azure. Ray, if I would want to pursue a career in Azure, what specific topics should I search and study first? I don't know anything yet about Azure, by the way. Yeah, exactly. The one of our slides, just having short term and long term, and having the learner mindset. Just start with fundamentals. So again, um, build your learning environment. Go to Microsoft Learn. Start with AZ900. There are free courses, free learning paths from Microsoft Azure in Microsoft Learn, and it always also gives you free environment. So you just build your Microsoft Azure subscription, you will get a free credit, especially if you're a student. You will get more credit, so then you will able to build your environment, just touch the environment and keep your hands dirty and follow the learning path within Microsoft Learn. And once you learn the fundamentals, there is where your not just learning path, also the career path starts. Daryl, is the Microsoft Certified Azure Fundamentals offered in Microsoft Learn the one if a person wants to pursue this career? This is really important, yeah, the fundamentals. So just if you're interested with Microsoft Azure fundamentals, this is actually, on my perspective, this is key to all the things that if you want to start your learning path and also career path with Azure. So start with Microsoft Certified Azure Fundamentals. It is AZ900. It's the exam code. So you can also follow the free learning path over there in Microsoft Learn. Did the question, will AI replace the HR sector? I'm not sure. AI can replace anything. So you can ask it also to ChatGPT. It will say there was a question actually asking which industries it's gonna replace. So it will also give a good insight about it. I will share slides with Surag, and so yeah, it's okay. And Surag, if it's possible, you can also put slides in public so they can download. It's not a problem. Checking for the rest of the questions. I wish we will have enough time to answer all. Armando Juan, sorry. And what kind of jobs we could look for if we start career with Microsoft? So it depends what kind of role you follow within. So as mentioned, Microsoft Azure is a role-based certifications, role-based learning, and role-based career. So if you are following an administrator path, you will be cloud administrator, a cloud engineer, a cloud specialist. If you are an architect, you will be a solutions architect, a cloud architect, or if you are in a data path, you will be a data science, a data engineer, and so on. So it depends what you follow in your role. Apart from LinkedIn, any other platform, I would suggest to just use any, like it could be Twitter, Facebook, and connect with the right people and with the right groups, with the right communities which you want to grow actually. So it's not, I'm not like recommending just stick to LinkedIn, but you can keep the LinkedIn on the top. This is really important, and you can also use other social platforms to just to get connected. We have a question for Hannah Rarwin. I'm working in an IT industry as a digital advisor. Can I join for training courses? Of course, yeah, that doesn't matter what's your background, what did you study in university, just start with fundamentals and yeah, and follow the role you would love to learn and start with Microsoft Azure fundamentals, AZ900. This is the first recommendation I could have as this is really important. So this is where you start to find your path within Microsoft Azure. Gerald Wino Denzo, does Azure Solutions Architect require me to have a background in programming? Not programming, but it's really good to have an understanding of scripting, especially with PowerShell, Azure CLI, infrastructure as a code language like ARM templates, Bicep, because you want to become a solutions architect. So solutions architect means that you are having a wide range of understanding of different kind of technologies. So not being a programmer or understanding the programmer, but you should be able to understand what's happening when you're looking at the code. So this is important if you are trying the role of becoming a solutions architect or cloud architect. RB Menor, good question. What is the main use of Microsoft Azure? That's really good question. So Microsoft Azure is a public cloud and platform that you are running your services, daily services, and on the cloud, not on your private cloud. This is again, if you start with Microsoft AZ900, Microsoft Azure Fundamentals, you will also know exactly the main purpose and the differences between Microsoft Azure, other platform providers, and also private, public cloud providers, and the differences between private data centers and private cloud providers. I looked at the Microsoft Learn and clicked Azure. It showed about 899 results. Are those results listed in order to be studied? No, you don't have to study all of them. There are filters. You can filter. So you can filter fundamentals. And when you filter fundamentals, you can also choose the path you want to follow in fundamentals. So you don't have to follow all 900 results. Just again, be specific. Don't mix everything. So it will be confusing and it will be uh, burning out actually. So maybe the word is a little bit dangerous, but yeah, don't mix it. So just build your learning process. Start with fundamentals. How to get free subscriptions in Azure for Dev? Go to portal.azure.com, portal.azure.com, and you will be having the options in there to sign up. And you will sign up and you will get free subscriptions and free credit in there to deploy your test environment. I am DevOps engineer. I have been working with Azure resources. Can I take an Azure developer directly? So if you have a background of being developer or developing environment, so I'm not sure if you're a DevOps engineer, what kind of language you are working with. So it could help you actually to follow your learning path and your career path with Azure developer directly. Yeah, that's possible. If you have an understanding how Azure works, how Azure fundamentals work. So if you haven't understand, I would recommend also go through it just quickly. It will take you an hour of your time. But yeah, if you understand the whole structure, just give it a try and start it. It's totally fine. What is differences between AWS and Azure? These are all different kind of technology vendors, different kind of public cloud service providers. So that's the differences. AWS is from Amazon, Azure is from Microsoft. As a network engineer, which Azure course suitable for me? It's Asif Nawaz. The answer is Azure has a network engineer, network expert course and learning path, and it's also actually a career within Microsoft Azure Public Cloud. So because there are different networking resources, routing protocols, subnetting, like gateways, firewalls. So if you are a network engineer and you want to start that career within Microsoft Azure. So start with Azure Fundamentals AZ900 and they take the course for Azure Network Expert. If I'm not wrong, it would be AZ700, but just check it in Microsoft Learn and you'll be sure of it. Okay, thank you very much for your time in today's session. I see no further questions and we are on time now. I would like to thank you all for taking the time in the weekend and you are really motivated and I love the enthusiasm, the question and the people I see in the session. That's really lovely. I hope I was able to add even a small percentage of a value to the session. I will be glad of it and hope to see you in the next sessions. I would love to have different sessions so we talk more in detail together. Just reach out to me if you have any questions and I wish you a lovely and great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Hamid, and thank you all for
Cheers.
joining with us. Thank you.